Tank, how would you fight Floyd in his prime? Like if you were to fight Floyd in
Don't
his prime,
fight him.
if you guys were both in the...
Don't fight him.
I'm still retired, officially retired, but I didn't retire from entertaining people, and I didn't retire from making money. So this coming up soon in a couple days, it's all about entertaining the people.
Between Tank and Floyd is that Tank got the type of power. When you got power that carry up like Pacquiao, you can move up many weight divisions, not just, the two that he primarily fought in. We saw him dribbling Mario Barrios off the canvas, so we saw him do it at one point.
Gervonta Davis responded to Floyd Mayweather's challenge by saying he can compete with any top fighter. However, he doesn't want to fight Mayweather because of their past mentor-student relationship and feels it wouldn't fit his career plans.
Tank, how would you fight Floyd in his prime? Like if you were to fight Floyd in
Don't
his prime,
fight him.
if you guys were both in the...
Don't fight him. I wouldn't fight him. I mean, Floyd was good. He was top tier. I mean, me, I feel as though I could compete with any top fighter. I'm not saying me going at Floyd, but I'm saying like I feel as though my skills, and not to take nothing from Floyd, but I feel like my skills can compete with anybody that ever laced up a boxing game.
You're crazy to watch, bro. Like,
yeah.
You hit like a fucking train.
Gervonta Davis recently spoke about his relationship with Floyd Mayweather, making it clear that he has moved on with his career. While Mayweather once played a role in his journey, Davis suggested that Floyd has already done everything he wanted in boxing and with him. Floyd has always been like that. I have to focus on myself. He already did what he had to do, Davis said, implying that Mayweather's influence, good or bad, is in the past. Despite any challenges from their relationship, Davis remains focused on his own success. He also admitted that if he achieved as much as Mayweather, he might also step back from the sport.
Tank, how's your relationship with Floyd now? Is he still a part of your camp and crew or something, or not?
Floyd outdoing him. He always been like that. You know what I mean? So I gotta focus on what I'm focusing on. He already did what he had to do, bro.
For sure.
I ain't gonna lie. Me, if I did what I like what he did in the sport, I ain't gonna lie, I'd be the same way.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I don't follow him for like stand to himself and things like that. You know what I mean? But it's also a part of me type thing, like come back and help too. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
there's much love to the whole Mayweather promotion. You know what I mean? Ain't no bad blood type shit.
In an interview, Floyd Mayweather said, "I'm still retired officially, but I'm not retired from entertaining people or making money." He made it clear that while he's done with professional boxing, he still takes exhibition fights to stay active and keep earning. Mayweather sees these fights as a way to connect with fans while making big paydays. He often compares himself to business moguls like Jeff Bezos and Warren Buffett, saying that retiring from competition doesn't mean he'll stop making smart financial moves. This mindset is likely why Mayweather challenged Gervonta Tank Davis to a fight. He knows it would draw huge attention and money. However, Davis has made it clear he's not interested, as he wants to focus on his own career rather than fighting his former mentor in an exhibition match.
The fight you've got coming up, Floyd, who do you think has taken the biggest risk taking that fight? Has it been you, Floyd Mayweather, or has it been Logan Paul, and why?
Well, it's always me, because at the end of the day, I'm always in a no-win situation. If I go out, I talked about this numerous times. If I knock him out in the first round, they're going to say it was a waste of our money. If I carry him, let him go a few rounds, then they're going to say, oh, Floyd Mayweather couldn't knock this guy out. But people got to realize I'm still retired, officially retired. But I didn't retire from entertaining people, and I didn't retire from making money.
Showbiz the Adult breaks down a potential fight between Floyd Mayweather and Gervonta Tank Davis, explaining why Mayweather is no longer as skilled as Tank at this stage in his career. He points out that while Mayweather was once the most technical and defensive fighter in boxing, his time has passed. Now, he wouldn't be able to compete with Tank, who is in his prime. Showbiz highlights that Tank is a complete fighter, combining skill, power, and strategy. He fights with precision, makes smart adjustments mid-fight, and has knockout power at any moment. Unlike Mayweather, who relied on defense and counterpunching, Tank is more aggressive, applying constant pressure while staying defensively aware. Showbiz also explains that Floyd would struggle to keep up with Tank's speed, power, and ring IQ. Even though Mayweather still has experience, he is no longer the same dominant fighter he once was. Because of this, if the fight were to happen, it would be for entertainment rather than true competition. Tank is simply the better fighter today.
My thing was, it wasn't that he's a big guy who could go to 140. It was that he's so talented and punched so hard that those skill sets can carry up with them in weight. That's what the great ones do. They have that ability. That's why I mentioned Floyd Mayweather wasn't 154, but his skill set was so good. The difference between Tank and Floyd is that Tank got the type of power. When you got power that carry up like Pacquiao, you can move up many weight divisions, not just, the two that he primarily fought in. We saw him dribbling Mario Barrios off the canvas. So we saw him do it at 140.
Gervonta "Tank" Davis has expressed interest in fighting his former mentor, Floyd Mayweather, creating a dream matchup many fans never expected. The idea of Tank versus Mayweather feels surreal, a student challenging his master, a young lion trying to dethrone the king who ruled boxing for years. For a long time, Tank was seen as Mayweather's protege, handpicked to be the next boxing superstar under Floyd's guidance. However, their relationship had ups and downs, leading Tank to leave Mayweather Promotions and take full control of his career. Now, the possibility of them facing off in the ring adds another chapter to their complicated history. What makes this fight intriguing is the clash of styles and generations. Mayweather, an undefeated defensive genius, built his legacy on precision, counterpunching, and making opponents miss. Tank, on the other hand, is a powerful, aggressive fighter with explosive knockout ability. The big question is, would Floyd's experience and ring IQ be enough to handle Tank's power, or would the younger, hungrier fighter finally push the legend into a real war? Many fans believe this fight would be more of a spectacle than a serious competition since Floyd is retired and only does exhibitions. However, the storyline alone, a former student trying to surpass his master, would make it one of the most talked about matchups in boxing history. Whether it happens as an exhibition or a real fight, just the idea of Tank versus Mayweather is enough to get the boxing world buzzing.
YouTube breaking news, Gervonta Davis is now calling out Floyd Money Mayweather for an absolute dream fight. A real fight, not an expedition. Gervonta wants to take out the master. Student versus master. Gervonta versus Money and Floyd Mayweather. What do y'all think about this fight? And if it happens, who you got? Do you got Gervonta the student or do you got Floyd Mayweather the teacher? What's up? I hope this fight happens because I will watch this shit. I will watch both records. Both people are undefeated. This will go down in history. What do y'all think? Throw a thumbs up, and if you know what's next, subscribe.
Gervonta "Tank" Davis has called out Floyd Mayweather, criticizing both his attitude and how other fighters interact with him. Davis doesn't respect boxers who seek Mayweather's approval or validation, only to later claim they are the best. He believes too many fighters try to attach themselves to Mayweather's name instead of standing on their own achievements. What frustrates Tank even more is Mayweather's ego and constant self-promotion. He pointed out how Floyd always makes things about himself, saying, "Floyd is always like, I'm this, I'm that," suggesting that even in conversations that aren't about him, Mayweather finds a way to shift the focus back to his legacy. Davis feels that instead of genuinely supporting the new generation, Mayweather is more focused on reminding people of his own greatness.
First of all, Floyd don't never want to see no one like a fighter do better than them. Why the say Terrence Crawford should fight Benavidez? That don't make no fucking sense. He don't never want to see nobody be better than him. I'm telling you.
Who's next in line? Just so you're next in line.
Is there like
The last question, guys.
is there like a love-hate for Floyd? Like,
Yeah.
the fighter?
Yeah, I love the fighter. Like, I ain't gonna lie, if he was like chill, like he'll be the smoothest. But he's not. You know what I mean? He's a great fighter. And my bad. And
you're good, man.
And he because I don't want to say like he's just a scumbag, but it's like he's a great fighter, and sometimes he can be good, but it's like it's always I'm this.
This call-out is significant because Gervonta "Tank" Davis was once Floyd Mayweather's protege. Floyd helped shape Tank's career and positioned him as boxing's next superstar. However, their relationship eventually soured, leading Davis to leave Mayweather Promotions to take control of his own career. This latest criticism proves that the tension between them hasn't faded. By speaking out, Davis is making it clear that he's done living in Mayweather's shadow. He wants to be recognized for his own skills, accomplishments, and legacy, without constantly being compared to his former mentor. Whether this will lead to an actual fight remains to be seen, but one thing is certain: Tank no longer feels the need to impress Mayweather. Instead, he sees him as someone clinging to the past while the sport moves forward. Davis made a strong point when he criticized Mayweather for always making things about himself. In a recent clip, Mayweather was seen correcting a reporter who called him one of the greatest of all time. Instead of accepting the compliment, Floyd seemed irritated and insisted that he was the greatest. The moment became even more awkward when the reporter asked Davis how he felt about fighting someone considered one of the best in history. Before Tank could respond, Mayweather cut in, turning the focus back to himself. He demanded that the reporter acknowledge his undefeated record, victories, and accomplishments, even pressuring him to list them out loud. This moment perfectly illustrates what Davis was talking about. Mayweather always finds a way to shift the attention back to himself, even when the spotlight is on other fighters. It's clear why Tank has distanced himself. He wants to build his own legacy without constantly being overshadowed by his former mentor.
You're backed by arguably one of the greatest of all time, right?
What are we rating ourselves on? What are we rating on?
Okay.
Well, we want to know, in the least amount of fights, I didn't have to have 70 fights or 150 fights, 300 fights. Did I not beat the most world champions?
Yes, you did.
Okay. And in the least amount of fights?
Yes, you did.
Who got the highest gate?
Floyd Mayweather.
Who made the most money?
You did.
Who was the most accurate fighter of all time?
You were.
So it's basically saying that...
The greatest of all time.
Okay.
All right.
Floyd Mayweather is known for his confidence, but at times, that confidence turns into open conflict, not just with fighters but also with the media. In one instance, Mayweather had a heated exchange with a news anchor, turning a simple interview into a personal battle over money. When the anchor asked a question Floyd didn't like, instead of answering, he shifted the conversation to wealth. He dismissed the anchor's credibility, saying, "Your job doesn't pay like mine does." This was a clear attempt to belittle the reporter, implying that his financial success made him superior. The exchange quickly became tense as the anchor tried to refocus on boxing, but Mayweather refused to back down. This moment highlighted Floyd's long-standing habit of using money to assert dominance, not just over opponents in the ring but over anyone who challenges him. While his financial success is undeniable, moments like these show why some people see Mayweather as arrogant. Instead of engaging in meaningful discussions, he often uses his wealth as a defense mechanism, turning simple conversations into unnecessary conflicts.
Just a guy with a job. I have a job though. So who would you fight next?
And guess what? Your job don't pay like my job.
Well, it depends.
Your job don't pay like my job.
That brings me to another point. Why are you coming back?
I can make $20 million in 18 months because I want to. Because I want to come back and steal some more money. I'm in a whole new era, dominating
That's right.
fighters.
And he's a whole new fighter, Floyd.
A whole new fighter.
Oh yeah.
And when I beat him, what they gonna say? Oh well, we knew this was gonna happen. Floyd Mayweather was a bigger fighter, or he can outbox him, or this. It's always excuses.
The first major conflict between Floyd Mayweather and Gervonta "Tank" Davis happened when Tank was preparing to fight Jose Pedroza for his first world title. At the time, Davis was still under Mayweather Promotions, but tensions started to build when he felt Floyd was pushing him into fights he wasn't fully ready for. Tank later explained that Mayweather wanted him to face even tougher opponents despite his limited experience. Money also became a major issue. Tank eventually revealed that Mayweather didn't pay him much for the Pedroza fight, even though it was a title bout that helped launch his career. This financial dispute was one of the first signs that Tank felt undervalued under Mayweather's management. Beyond money and matchmaking, location was another source of conflict. Floyd didn't want Tank to stay in his hometown of Baltimore, believing it was full of distractions that could hurt his boxing career. Instead, Mayweather wanted him to live and train in Las Vegas under his supervision. However, Tank didn't like being controlled in that way, and these early disagreements laid the foundation for their eventual fallout.
I remember first hearing an issue between Floyd and Gervonta before Gervonta fought Pedroza. And the issue I heard was that Floyd didn't want Gervonta to stay in Baltimore because he felt there was too many distractions for him in Baltimore, and he wanted to stay in Vegas. And the story I was told at that time was that Floyd gave Gervonta one of his penthouses or one of his apartments in the Palms Hotel, and he said, "This is your apartment. I'll furnish it for you. He got him a Jeep. At the time, Gervonta was not a world champion. He got him like a Jeep, a 4x4. You know, he basically said, I'll make it comfortable for you. I don't want you to go to Baltimore. I want you to stay here. I don't think Baltimore is the place for you, you know? And what I was told was Gervonta sold all the furniture, sold the Jeep, and went back to Baltimore and bought a Benz. You know, with that's what I was real. That's what I was told at the time. So
Gervonta Tank Davis opened up about his disappointment with certain people in boxing, saying he felt let down by those he once admired. At first, he looked up to them, believing in their image, but over time, he realized they weren't who they claimed to be. Once you get around someone, you be looking up to these people so bad, and then you realize they ain't who they say they are, Tank said. This realization left him feeling disillusioned, ultimately pushing him to go his own way and take control of his career on his own terms.
Just once you get around someone, you be looking up to these people so bad, and like once you get around, they don't be who they say they is or who they portray to be. You be like, damn, it's damn near like it's a letdown. So you be more so hurt off, you know. So it's like I just go my own way, like I do my own thing and things like that. So that's more so that's what it was, and that's cool. It's just like you just don't vibe with like what they on, and that's, you know. I mean, I've been in a situation where though, like, you know, I was in a lose-lose situation. Now, what came out still on top
with Floyd? You said, what was the lose-lose situation? What you mean?
Just a little situation that he put me in to, you know, make me lose, but he thought I was gonna lose. But
you talking about like a boxing match or?
Yeah, boxing match.
Ooh, if you don't mind. If you don't want to, it's
Pedraza.
fine.
Joseph Pedraza, my first world title. I was 16-0. I was 16-0. 16-0. And I was 21 at the time. And I haven't fought in like 7 or 8 months.
Gervonta Tank Davis revealed that Floyd Mayweather put him in a tough position early in his career, expecting him to fail. When asked what he meant, Davis explained that Mayweather set him up to fight Jose Pedraza for his first world title, believing he wasn't ready. He thought I was going to lose, Tank said, pointing out that he was just 21 years old, 16-0, and hadn't fought in 7 to 8 months before facing Pedraza. At the time, Davis was also struggling financially. I was probably making like $10,000 a fight, he said. For 6 months, he had no fights, which made things even harder as he was still trying to build his career. When Mayweather's team finally came back with an opportunity, they pressured him into taking the Pedraza fight. They were like, "You got to fight this guy," which was Jose Pedraza, Davis recalled, suggesting he had no real choice but to accept the challenge. Despite being put in a tough situation, Tank proved everyone wrong by winning the fight and becoming a world champion, showing that even when people doubted him, he still found a way to succeed.
Around that time, I wasn't making that much money. I probably was making like $10,000 a fight. So 6 months is crazy to not fight, you know. So when they came back and it was like, all right, you gotta fight. He was like, you gotta fight this fighter, which is Joseph Pedraza. If you don't fight him, you're not fighting. You're like sitting on a shelf. So I had to fight him. In the midst of all that happened, I got evicted. I had to sell my jewelry. So now, and remind you, I'm letting them boxers that you talking about, I'm putting them on game.
That's it for today's video. Stay tuned for more on Knockout Chronicles. Don't forget to subscribe and share. See you next time.